Did we finally do it? Okay, hang on. I'm going to close. I got YouTube open on the other side there. Yay! You guys are here. Welcome, Emery. Who else is here with us? I can see you. Yeah, the chat is working. That's always a good sign, eh? Oh my gosh, oh, my hair, thank you. I'm a little bit annoyed because I've been trying to grow out my mullet, right? And then when I had surgery, because they had to do surgery on my spine, they shaved it away. And then I started growing it back out again. And then I don't know, there was a miscommunication with my last haircut, and I didn't realize it until I got home, and I was like, oh, he cut it off again. So maybe a mullet is just not meant to be. I will take the signs that every time I try, it just keeps getting cut off. But thank you. Yes, it's happening. We're here. Steph, hey. Okay, Steph, this is going to sound so weird, but you were in my dreams last night. And it was weird. I don't know why, but it was like Steph Little. And I was like, Steph, da 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 da. I don't know why, but you were in my dream last night. Thank you. It's so bright. It's a nice change from the black, right? The shirt. It's a nice change from always black. Nikki, wow, blast from the past. What's up? How are you doing? Are you like in Canada? Are you actually here right now, or are you abroad? What's going on? Oh no, what do we say? Disagree. The mullet will be your fall look. Well, yeah, I'll have to start growing. I mean, there's kind of hair there, but I mean, it's like gone. We'll see. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I know, right? So random. Okay, friends, welcome to our live stream. I'm super, super freaking psyched that this is actually working today. I don't know what has been going on with the last 2 months. I was like researching all these different streaming things, trying different things. I was like, no, Restream really is the best for me, for what I needed to do, and for my level of tech know-how. But yeah, the way it kept messing up. Anyways, I'm so glad it's working now. I don't know what was going on. What did you say? No, you weren't. You weren't. But I think, okay, tell me if you guys have like a something you're rewatching right now. Normally I don't watch a lot of things in the summer, but because of my surgery, I've just been kind of staying home a lot more. Being out is a little more painful than usual. And so I'm just watching tons of things, and I'm rewatching Lucifer. And so if you haven't seen it, it's a silly little show. And I was dreaming that I had like committed a crime and was trying to escape. And like, what do I pack and how do I go on the run? Lucifer is getting into my dreams, but I'm like, why was I dreaming that? Anyway, it's unrelated, but that was another dream I had last night. Very unrelated. Nikki, I'm in my Toronto backyard right now, but living for Nunavut and Greenland. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's going to be amazing. What do you have planned? What are you going to do while you're out there? Oh, it's going to be so beautiful. And you said in a few weeks, right? So it's going to be good weather. Oh, that's so lovely. Oh, Jess, you know it? Okay, nice. Yeah, it's so good. I'm just working my way through season 3 right now, but I watched the season finale of season 2, and it's gonna be a spoiler, guys. The show's from 2015. Okay, so when his like mom goes into her own universe, and he's like on the beach, and he's like, he's so passionate, he's sad, and he's heartbroken, and he's mad, and he feels betrayed, and the acting from Tom Ellis, like I was sitting here like crying from Lucifer. I'm just bawling because his acting is so intense in that moment. Anyways, I'll tell you, if you've got family dysfunction stuff that you need to heal, go watch Lucifer. You know what though? It is silly, Emery, because anyway, tell me if anyone else can relate. I don't generally like silly things that are implausible, because my brain is like, well, that would never happen. And I think that's why I watch a lot of sci-fi and fantasy, because if it's never going to happen, then let's make sure it never happens from such an extreme. And so I watch shows like Lucifer, and to me, they're silly, because I used to be like, well, why would he do that? Well, why would she say that? Well, why did it? And then I have to remember it's just a silly little show. It's meant to be campy. It's meant to be over the top, right? It's meant to be like ridiculous. And so when I embrace that, it allows me to enjoy it more versus the whole time being like, well, that wouldn't make sense. Well, why would he do that? Well, da da da. Anyway. Did anyone see my email on Monday where I literally shared all the things I'm binging and listening to and reading right now? And I talked about how I do so much of my processing through media. I do so much of my processing. Got him a gig massaging on a cruise ship for a month. Oh, that's very cool, Nikki. How do you feel about that? That's cool. Tell me more. I'm so excited to hear like what that means, how you got it, how you felt about it. Andrea, I'm so happy to be here at the L. Yes. I had 2 super weird networking events this week and I'm feeling bummed about revenue trickles. I need these vibes today. Oh, good. We're so glad you're here. Anyone else, tell me in the comments. Typically for like a service-based business, summer months can be a little slower. Not for all businesses, but for a lot, it can be a little slower just because no one's around, right? Everyone's out doing things. Nikki's taking off for a month, right? Nikki's an RMT. You've been in business long enough now too. You probably, tell us, is summer a slower season for you? And so we can get really down on ourselves. We can get afraid that we're doing something wrong or our businesses are failing. And what I really want you all to do is, if it's your slower time, I want you to reframe the business activities you're doing. Right. So maybe this isn't the time that you're doing a hard sales push or you're doing a ton of networking to like make a bunch of cool things happen. Maybe this is a great time to send out a little catch up email with people you've not talked with in a while that you want to continue to build those relationships with. Right. Or it's a great time. Like I'm doing a lot of like behind the scenes cleanup right now. I think I deleted like 30 pages from my website that are just obsolete and set up redirects and things like that. Right now I'm kind of updating my podcast page. I'm taking out all the old stuff that no longer applies. I'm doing some redirects. Like it's a great time for me to do cleanup because I can't get to this the rest of the time of year. I'm too busy, right? So kind of think of this time of year of like, what am I nurturing? What am I cleaning up? What foundations am I laying for the fall? Because typically in September, that's when things go bananas. I'm actually going to share this link right now. This is for our Back to Business event. We did it last year and it was so popular. So I'm adding it into our lineup of annual events. And the Back to Business is happening September 5th. And this is where it's like, all right, spend the summer, play, take some downtime, let your mind wander a little bit, and then come back in September really feeling refreshed, rested, probably with some new ahas or new information in that brain of yours. And then we're going to make a plan for the rest of the year. Okay, let's check in on our goals. What needs to change or pivot, right? What are we shifting, and what's the plan? So yeah, come and sign up for that. It's a free event to attend. So come and attend, sign up for that. And if you can't be there live, you'll get the replay and the workbook and everything. So I don't know. I hope that helps. Let me know if that was helpful, the things I just said right there. Yeah, the Lucifer with the silly thing. Yeah, this space is therapeutic. Can I tell you guys, two months ago, when nobody was online because I wasn't streaming live, even though it showed me I was streaming live, I felt so like, oh gosh, maybe the shop talks have worn their welcome. Maybe people don't care anymore. Like I'm like, there's not one person here. Because so many people RSVP'd. And then when I saw the chat after of everybody being like, is Lindsay okay? What happened? I was like, okay, good. First of all, thank you for caring about me. And also thank you for not letting our shop talks die. Nikki, let's hear about this cruise. A client got me a contract with a cold weather cruise ship company. They're sending me to the Northwest Territories, Nunavut, Greenland, and Newfoundland. And yep, the summer slump is real. It is. Summer slump is a thing, guys. It's not you. It's the nature of businesses, for service-based businesses. But on that note, I forgot I was gonna, whatever, it's fine. On that note, let's get into today's topic, because I want to talk about this idea of the customer buying journey, and specifically for, service-based businesses, online educators, online entrepreneurs, coaches, things like that, anything outside of tech or a product-based company, selling purses and shoes, when you've got a service-based business, your customer journey is different than the other ones. And it's usually It can be a longer sales cycle, but it's not always, right? Depends what you're selling, who your customer is, their stage of readiness, things like that. But I wanted to talk about this idea of, do you know your customer journey? And Emery, I know I saw I saw your email, right? A lot of folks don't, a lot of entrepreneurs don't. And it's kind of like a fluke, right? Like businesses refer to them or they kind of fall into it, but they don't necessarily understand the mindset of their customer and what they're thinking and what's driving action through each of these 6 stages that we're going to talk about today. And I wanted to talk about it specifically on our shop talk, even though we typically talk about more like mindset stuff here. But as I said in my email, the technical tends to shine a light on the things that we don't know or feel insecure about, right? Or some imposter syndrome around. So talking technical will actually force some mindset shifts and some personal growth today. So we're going to talk about that. I'm gonna see if I can share. Hang on one second. I want to share the chat. Not me forgetting how to share the chat on this. Hang on, you guys. How do I share the chat again? Oh my goodness. I totally forgot how to share the chat. Show on stream. There it is, all the way up there. Okay, brilliant. That way I don't miss any of your comments. So Emery, yeah, you said that you don't have a freaking clue. Can't wait to dig in. I offer myself as tribute. What is it they do that, or what is it that they do on Hunger Games? Anyways, it's another classic that I rewatch every year. All right. So, I don't think I can. Oh, I can show the chat at the same time. Okay, perfect. So one of the things I want to talk about very, very first of all, and I want you all, if you don't already have something to take notes on, please do grab a phone, grab a notebook, or just come back and rewatch the replay if you want to stay really present with us today and just let your mind be here and you can take notes later. But when we think about service-based businesses, online entrepreneurs, coaches, things like that, you'll see right there, I wrote 4 things: visibility, email community, your SEO content, and your networks. Those are the 4 things that you need to be focused on. All right. Not social media. Can I tell you, I've had so many calls with people this week and it's like, my launch didn't work. Nothing is working. Da, 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 da. I'm like, well, what are you doing? Like, how are you marketing it? And folks are saying things like, well, I'm posting on social media and I'm sending emails to my email list. Okay, that's great. How many followers do you have? Well, like 300. All right. How many people are on your email list? Well, like 100. Well, that's why the launch didn't go well. That's why no one's buying, right? Because if we're thinking of a 1% to 3% conversion rate, well, what's 1% of 100 people on your email list? That's one person, right? One customer. And so what entrepreneurs are not understanding is, yes, social media plays a role. Yes, your email community plays a huge role. But if you're not driving people to your social media, to your email list, it doesn't matter, right? No one knows you exist. And we're going to talk about that in stage 1 of the buying journey. So visibility is so important. That visibility piece. Where are you getting out into new audiences, new spaces? Where are you existing outside of your ecosystem, your social media, right? Your email list. You have to be outside of that. That's how people learn that you exist, right? And then when we take the email community, your goal as a service-based business owner is to be getting either sales calls or getting folks onto your email list. It's either get them onto a call or get them onto an email list or a combination of both. That's what you need to be focused on all the time. And so we think about that email community as a way to go, hey, welcome to my world. Let's get to know each other, right? When it comes to your SEO content, you notice I say SEO, not social media. Right? The reason is, oh my God, social media. You guys, if you're not an influencer, if you're not building up an influencer account where brands are going to sponsor you and you're going to sell stuff for brands to your audience, if that's not your business model, please, social media is the slowest way to build your business and to get sales. Okay. Social media is great for like having a place for people to come hang out with you, hang out in the stories, DM folks, right? Like you can nurture, you can build, know, like, trust, but generating sales from social media is so hard and takes so much time and effort. And if you're small, no one's seeing your stuff. Okay. Think about the last time you scrolled your feed and you saw anyone you really knew, right? It's ads, it's suggested posts. It is like the big creators, right? Ugh. But anyways, I told myself I was going to stop having this fight. If you guys want to go on social media, go on social media. But I'm telling you professionally, my professional opinion, it's not where you're going to build, but your SEO content. So think blog, right, is the easiest. There's also podcast, and there's also YouTube, right? This is where you're starting to build that foundation of thought leadership. You're starting to build a cache of content that you can use for repurposing, that you can use in your marketing efforts, right? And you're able to, again, build community around this. So the SEO content is far, far more important. It'll be building your email list more effectively, right? We really want the SEO content. And then finally, your networks, okay? So your networks, that is obviously the people who are going to become clients and customers, people who are going to refer business to you, people who will be collaborating with you. It's how you get access into new organizations, by connecting with leaders. And of course, building up your village of biz besties, right? So those are the 4 things over and over and over I'm going to be preaching at you. All right, so let's hit pause there. And I want to hear your thoughts so far. What are some of the thoughts that are coming up as you're hearing this? Oh, hey, Sue, welcome. I know as my customer is what I was in the past. Okay, let's talk about that. That may be true. That may be true, and I'm not saying it's not. But that is sometimes an assumption that we make. We put ourselves in the place of the customer, and then we assume the customer thinks like us, acts like us, right? So like you might say, oh, I hate watching videos. I hate them so much. I never watch videos. I don't want to make YouTube videos. Okay, but then your customer actually loves consuming videos. They'll sit there and binge all your content if you have it, right? So there's this thing that we do where we project ourselves onto our customers, and that's not good enough. You really have to be in the head of your customer and thinking, what do they want? What do they not want? What is their buying journey? So we're going to get that in just a second. Thanks for letting me leapfrog off that, Sue. Emery, nothing makes me happier than knowing I don't have to pour myself into social media. Thank God. Literally, I'm going to be taking my Instagram. Basically, if anyone's been paying attention, you're going to see all my stuff is moving to YouTube. My business content, everything's going to be on YouTube. The community is going to be over there. And my Instagram is just going to become me. You're going to get dorky memes, powerlifting stuff, anti-capitalist stuff. It's just going to be me. I'm not creating business content for social media anymore because it doesn't really work. Like, I know you'll see other people's posts and you'll be like, oh, that post is so good. I wish I thought of that in your industry, right? And then you'll go look at the actual engagement. It's like, okay. The amount of times that you guys are like, I had a post go viral. I'm like, great. How many subscribers did you get? How many sales? Well, I got 2 new followers. Like, get out of here, social media. You're wasting our time. We got better things to do than dance for an algorithm. Sue, that was not my goal, but now I get offers to be an influencer and getting paid for that. And that's the thing. If a part of your business model is influencer, brand sponsorship, brand dollars, if that's a part of your business model, then that's a part of your business model. Act accordingly, right? Market and be in action accordingly. Andrea, okay, I feel like a blog is in a danger zone for me. I could live in a blogger in the early 2000s. Yeah. Well, okay, so what do you mean by danger zone? Are you saying that you don't have self-control around blogging? Is it that you feel like you would, like go down the rabbit hole of blogging and then never come up for air, do anything else? Well, that's easy. Set timers, time block. You can set up structures for that, right? But blogging is interesting. Blogging is in a really interesting space right now with AI. Have you all heard the dead internet theory? Have you guys heard that yet? Where they're talking about how the way it's headed, eventually it'll just be AI talking to AI talking to AI, and people won't even be using Google or the internet in the same way anymore because we won't trust it. We won't get good results, and we'll find other ways to be connecting. If you're somebody who is a little bit afraid right now of AI impacting you in a negative way, this really is the time to lean into as much real person stuff. And I don't mean like in person, but like showing your face, hosting gatherings online or in real life, like writing, like please don't let AI write your stuff, write your own content, right? Be an actual human, because we're in this interesting space where we're going to be not trusting things anymore because of AI, and the quality is so garbage. And so we're moving into this more like, I want a real person. You might have even seen people say like, this blog was not written with AI, these social posts weren't written with AI. Like, people are kind of coming out and saying, I'm not participating in this. And it's, no. Anyways, I say all that to say blogging is in an interesting space right now. Because of all of these search engines using AI to show you specific results that are not necessarily the results you're looking for. And then when you're blogging, you want to think about, we've heard of obviously SEO, but now it's also like AEO, right? We're thinking like AI engine optimization, like how are you getting found on ChatGPT and all of those things. So it's an interesting space to play in, but I still want you creating content because I still want you to have something bingeable that people can consume to see your expertise. And if you're getting AI to write it, guys, it's not your expertise. Please, it's so generic, it's so garbage. Don't do it. Yeah, like suck in all your time. Yeah, just set up good boundaries. Right? I like to figure out how long it takes me to create a piece of content. It takes me this much to script it or outline it and record it and edit it, or this much to do some keyword research, write it, source some images, source some backlinks, right? I figure out how long it takes me, and then that's how much time I give myself. So, write 5 blogs, maybe 6 blogs. You'll get faster and faster, and then go, okay, so that took me about 2 hours. All right, so I'm going to give myself, oh God, that's a long time. Anyways, so maybe I'm going to write 2 blogs a month, right? Like it's 4 hours a month onto my blogs, right? Okay, so this is when I'm going to source images and backlinks and do keyword research. There, done. This next time block is when I'm going to write it, and then I'm going to edit and post it. The other thing too is you don't have to like do it all in one chunk. I have a really good blog. I'm just going to share with you right now. Well, is it really good? I don't know. It's a blog. It's old. So sometimes when I look at my older content, I'm like, oh man, has my writing improved? And my ability to like break down complex, what's it called? Ideas into better instruction. Here's a blog. This is the time block. It's all about time blocking. And actually I did another one on time blocking for ADHD entrepreneurs as well. Which was really, I thought was really good. It's actually my most Googled. It's my drives the most traffic. Anyways, so you can time block that out, but let's talk about that for a second, because you made a really great point, right, about it sucking up all your time. And I sat there adding up the hours. You have to remember that if blogging isn't driving business right now, it's something we do this much, right? And we focus more on the visibility, the networking, having calls, right, putting ourselves out there that much, right? And the SEO content becomes this much until it starts to really be driving business. All right. Does that make sense? That makes sense. Hang on. I lost my mouse. All right. What else we got here? And I want to get into the actual stages right now. I could write constantly and do nothing else. Honestly, Andrea, same with like YouTube. That's why I've been clearing so much of my schedule. Anyone else doing that? I'm going to ask a question. I want you all to answer it. I formed my own mastermind last year, and one of our members said, if you were starting your business over, what would you dive into head first, right? And it was immediate for me. Speaking, YouTube, like creating my YouTube and doing more speaking. That's the stuff I love. When I heard my very first like motivational speaker at 15 or whatever, I was like, wait, you can do this for a living? Heck yeah. And so I've been actively for the past year and a bit, really like reshuffling things and clearing so that I can have more time to do YouTube, right? I've actually dialed back my speaking a bit because I want to do more YouTube, right? And so what would you do if you, I mean, I shouldn't say starting over because a lot of y'all are very new, but like, I guess my question is, what is the thing that you would love to be doing that you're not doing? And I'll tell you right now, 9 times out of 10, scrolling social media is what's going to stop you from doing it, because that's sucking up so much time. It's using up all your dopamine, right? It's creating this this black hole in your creative soul. Not to be dramatic, but like if you weren't scrolling, what would you do with that time? What would you want to be doing, right? Oh, I love writing too. How do you get your blogging out there? So multiple things, but the first thing is making sure you have an SEO strategy, a search engine optimization strategy. You are using keywords that your customer are searching. One of the things when it comes to creating content, we typically do is we create content we think people should read, but we need to be tuned into what our customers are looking for. So you want to be starting to do a little bit of light keyword research, understanding how keywords work, understanding how to optimize your blog. If you're not already in my free sales community, hang on, let me get the link. I have a whole section on SEO content, and I focus on blogging because I just put the link in the chat. I focus on blogging because it's low cost and it's easy compared to podcasting and YouTube, right? So yeah, you do that, and then you think about, there's that visibility piece, right? How am I getting myself visible out into new spaces? And then you can be inviting people to follow along with your blog, right? Subscribe to your email list, and then you email out your blog, right? And there's implications there for like Substack and things like that. But I don't want to get into that right now. But there's, because I have thoughts. I have many thoughts on Substack. All right. Let me go back to these comments. Emery, I hate blogging. Andrea, we should do co-working sessions. Yes. Well, but Emery, you have your podcast, so keep doing your podcast, and think of your podcast as a blog, right? So you have your episodes, but how in your show notes can you write them almost like a blog style? And so then you've got two birds, one stone, right? Oh, I hate that saying, guys. We have to come up with a different saying. Anyways, but you're accomplishing double the tasks in one motion, right? Podcast and blog. We'll combine it. That's something I've actually been playing with. Anyways, a conversation for another day. I'll share it in an email. Hello, who is this? Vegan Knowledge, JJ. Hello. Hi, who are you? What's your name? Hi. Andrea, yeah, I write my own stuff and then share things in newsletters and LinkedIn. Oh yeah, I also forgot about LinkedIn. If your audience is on LinkedIn, you can share it on LinkedIn for sure. Also, Pinterest. Pinterest is a really great way to drive people to your blog. So if your customer is a Pinterest consumer, get yourself on Pinterest. It all depends on where your customer is. And we're going to talk about that in just one quick second. All right. Do you feel the importance of live video is becoming of greater importance? I really do. And I think that we have seen that since TikTok exploded like 5 years ago. Sorry, guys. Since it exploded, and we saw TikTok take off over Instagram and everything else. Why? Because we're human beings. We are social creatures. We want to see people. We want to hear people, right? That's how we're connecting. And what book is it? It might be the book Do Nothing, maybe. But it talked about how, because again, I think, friends, that we forget that we're animals. Like, we're animals, right, that have evolved over time, and we are very social, we are very communal, right? We have our packs, our communities, right? And we have evolved to be able to hear people. Well, I will say, if you have hearing, right? There's other ways that we pick up on things visually, whatever, right? But one of the ways that we connect to people is we can hear the subtlest of change in tone in what someone is saying, right? Or we can see the subtlest little micro expressions, right? And even if we're not aware of it, our brain clues in and then gives us feedback, and then we respond accordingly, right? And so it was talking about how things like the written word, it's not like a blog or an email or a text or whatever, a carousel on Instagram. There's no feedback from the other person who's giving it. And I think they said we're hundreds of years away yet to be able to have the same connection through written word that we do through the visual and the auditory, right? Oh, sorry, my alarm is going off. There we go. So yeah, we've seen that when TikTok took off. We saw the way that connecting to a person and then connecting with each other in the chat about that thing and sharing our stories and experiences, that's why it blew up, right? That and a really good algorithm, right? So yeah, video, live video pre-recorded, it's huge. And again, back to our conversation around AI and people not trusting and not being on the internet as much, wanting to be with each other, right? Yeah, quality leads through speaking. Absolutely. Yeah, bundles are giving junk leads. Yeah, bundles, I feel like, depending on your industry, bundles had their moment and now they're kind of drying up. I don't participate anymore. I had a year and a half maybe where I was like, oh, this is great. And now I find it's a lot of for my industry, right? They're not really doing what they used to do. I'm looking for more like smaller collabs, like direct one-on-one, or a group of 3 of us connecting to each other's email list, like direct collabs over bundles. However, if your industry is not super duper saturated with bundles, it still might be a great move for you. Again, it all depends on your customer, right? And your industry, right? I need a t-shirt. I'd rather be scrolling. LOL, kidding, right? Oh, not me. What is this? 1 seed, 2 birds. Yes, Andrea. Okay. 1 seed, 2 birds. Could you do 2 birds, 1 seed? 1 seed, 2 bird. I'm going to try to burn that in. If I forget, remind me. That's a great one. Yeah, showing your face and voice for the know, like, trust factor is huge, right? Nikki, I've never used Pinterest. I thought it was just for photos of interior design. Okay, can you share how it can drive people to your blog or website? So Pinterest as a platform, you have to remember, is a search engine, right? It's not social media. There's no engagement. I mean, I think people can leave comments, but it's not a social media platform. It's a search engine, all right? That's why you'll notice when you search things, images come up all the time, Pinterest links, right? And so as a platform, it loves a blog. It loves when you pin to a blog. And so you can take one blog and make as many pins as you want, 30, 50, it doesn't matter, right? And you just change up the image, you change up the font, you change off what the thumbnail of the pin says, right? And then it links back to your blog, back to your blog, back to your blog, right? And then from there, you can then on your blog make sure that you're having very quickly join my email list, at the top scroll, at the bottom, wherever, right? And so for you, Nikki, as an RMT, Nikki, are you doing anything like virtual yet? Or I say yet, I don't know if that's even on your radar, but are you doing anything virtual, or is it just in-person massage? Because I'm not familiar with Pinterest in terms of having a location-based, physical-based business, right? But if you were wanting it for like, maybe I don't know the state of your business. We haven't talked in so long, but maybe you're wanting to do more keynote speaking or become a published author, or you're selling some sort of membership for other RMTs on how to build a successful home-based RMT business, right? If you have something that is broader than your at-home practice, right? You would want to think from a blogging perspective. What is the thought leadership space I want to be known for? What is the kind of content that I want to be known for that the people also want to read, also want to consume, right? You would start there, and then your Pinterest would then support that, right? You would have pins that those people would, again, be searching for, where your pin would show up. Does that make sense? There's, what is her name? There's a Natalie. There's a person that I follow on YouTube. Well, clearly I don't follow closely enough. But she does some really cool things around Pinterest. And if anyone here knows Vera Schofield, I know Vera's done some stuff with her. Hang on, subscriptions. Let me quickly search this here. How are we doing for time? Oh my God, as always, I gotta hurry. All right, even if we just get to stage 1 of the business today, I'm gonna be very happy. All right. Oh, down here. Hang on, friends. Give me 1 quick second. Oh, good. It's in alphabetical order. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Hopefully that is her name. I follow so many people. Natalie, there it is. Perfect. Natalie Bardo. Okay, I'm going to share her channel. So she, follow her for Pinterest advice. Yeah. She does some really cool things, and she's got like some like low cost kind of courses and things like that as well. So yes. All right. What do we got here? I go by JJ. Okay, Jen Jad. Oh, okay. My first work at Feb. Been really focusing on YouTube content, and I have a paid membership and free guides for beginner, raw vegan, or raw curious to add more raw foods to their health. I love that. Fantastic. A long time ago, I don't even know how long ago. What was it? I made something. Oh, I can't remember. Anyways, I can't remember what it was. Okay, I'm not going to try to remember, but I remember like I was like giving examples. Oh, it was a copywriting. It was a copywriting course, and I was giving examples of how the same flow can be applied to a social media post, a blog, a YouTube, or a website, that same flow. And that was what it was a plant-based website that I was mimicking for people that wanted to get into plant-based cooking, but were really overwhelmed on where to start, right? So great to meet you as well. So great to meet you. Yes, right. Thank you for not killing the bird. I know every time I say it, I'm like, no, that's so brutal. Be right back. Yes, you should 100%. And again, Emery, if you combine, oh man, we're getting so deep into strategy. I'm so sorry, guys. If you combine your podcast on a page that's like a blog style as well, so you're getting double SEO, and then you're double, but you know what I mean? Like you're increasing your odds of having better SEO, and then you're using pins to drive there. Abso-friggin-lutely. Yeah, I love it. Nothing virtual in your business. Aside from occasional podcast interviewing. Nikki, do you want to go into the space of thought leadership? I mean, I feel like that's such a natural progression for you. Or maybe you're like, nah, man, I just want to travel and go to concerts. Like, that's it. I'm happy with what I got. But yeah, if you wanted to go into like a thought leadership space, right? Nikki, even if it's unrelated to your massage therapy practice, right? Like it could just be you in the space of like music, right? Like it could be anything. Friends, I want you to remember that your business is not the only thing you will ever do. And your business can be a really great stepping stone into whatever is next. Like I said to someone the other day, I want to be a full-time paid YouTube creator, right? That's not the same thing as what we're doing here right now. So like I'm going to be doing both. Like that's like I've got the Radical Connector humming along. I got some fun things planned for it in the next 5 years. And then I also want to be doing YouTube full-time. Right? They're related, but for all intents and purposes, they become two different businesses, right? So like right now, when I create YouTube videos, it's not a revenue generating activity yet, right? Like it's not generating revenue. So I don't count that as my revenue generating activity in the Radical Connector right now, because it doesn't drive revenue, right? So it's something I do for fun on the side, right? But then I eventually want it to. So I will continue to work on that until it does become a revenue driver. Does that make sense? So yeah. Okay. All right. Let's get into, I'm going to look at some of your messages in just a second here. If I missed anything important, just repost it for me. Okay. But let's talk about these 6 stages of the buying journey. I'm going to kind of give you a high level, and then we're going to talk about the first 2 stages today. All right. Do you know there are 6 stages of the buying journey? Do you know yours? Do you know the process someone goes through from becoming from being a stranger? They don't know you exist. They don't know, you don't know they exist, into a customer and beyond, right? Do you know yours? Let's talk about the first stage right now. And that is there we go. That is awareness. Okay. The very first stage is awareness. And typically when you go to like a sales course or something, oh my gosh, what's going on? You know what? I can feel my nose getting irritated. I think there's an allergen outside making its way into my office because I can feel my nose burning. So generally, if you were to attend a sales training, awareness, they would talk about in terms of the customer becoming aware that there's something they need or a problem they want to solve, right? But in this case, I'm talking about awareness from the perspective of the customer becomes aware you exist. And the reason for that is because I teach you in sales, we're not trying to convince the world. We are strategically putting ourselves in front of the people who are already looking for someone like you. So that awareness is already happened for them. And they are now actively looking. And that's where I want you showing up. That's that visibility piece and the networking piece, right? Well, all of it, the SEO content piece as well, right? So the awareness stage is that first stage in this example that your customer becomes aware that you exist. Do you know how your customer becomes aware that you exist? Do you know? Where are you showing up? Right? What are you, where are you speaking? Where are you networking? Where do you have content? Who are your customers asking to give a referral to someone like you? Right? Do you know how your customers become aware that you exist? Let's start there. Oh, I love this. A+, gold stars. Yes. Loyalty. Yes. Good gold stars on the 6 stages. I want to share with you. I'm going to wait for you all to tell me, do you know how your customers find you? But if you haven't already, friends, I created this fun little, it's called the Unhustle Your Business Starter Kit. I'm getting dorky on this one. So I recorded a podcast and put together a workbook, and I take you through things like the like what do I say? It's 3 mindset shifts that'll save your business and fill your heart, because there's some mindset shifts around this hustle indoctrination that, doesn't need to be there. So there's those. And I talk about 5 visibility moves you need to start making. And this is where we talk about the things like public speaking and networking and creating content. We talk about that. I talk about 3 ick-free sales pathways. And this is something that I talk about that's new. I talk about the different sales pathways that you're going to be engaging people in based on the stage of the customer journey they're on. And then I also share 16 affirmations, and I do play some meditation music, and we have a little guided meditation with affirmations. So go and download it. Let me know what you think. It's really fun. All right. For everyone else, do you know your customers, or how they become aware that you exist? How they become aware that you exist. I want to just read your messages while I'm in here. Yeah, I want to talk about, while you guys are writing those, Sue, you wrote a blog last Valentine's Day. You did some pins and it's still bringing traffic. Yeah. And the thing with pins is, and you'll learn this if you follow Natalie. I learned this from Vera, that it takes, is it 3 months? I think 3 months, 4 months, something like that, before your stuff really gets pushed. So you will see people creating seasonal content months before it's actually ready. Like if it's, what is it? It's August, right? So I'd be creating like holiday content, December holiday content now, right? And starting to post it now, because it takes time to get that lift, right? One of the things I like about Pinterest too is that because it's not a social media platform, you don't have to engage. You can just post and let it do its thing. And you got to learn it. You got to understand the algorithm. You got to learn what works and doesn't. But oh yeah, we said this one already. All right, what do we got here? LinkedIn. I love that. So they find out you exist through LinkedIn. Yes. Yeah. 3 months. Thanks, Sue. Yeah. Yeah. So, Nikki, yeah. Google Maps, word of mouth, and Facebook groups in that order. Yeah. I mean, for folks that wouldn't know this, because it was a while ago now and you're just meeting Nikki, but that's a strategy that they did, or she did, in the beginning of Nikki's business. You were giving away free 30-minute massages in exchange for Google reviews, right? And then people could upgrade if they wanted a full hour. And I know it was a lot of work, but your Google searchability was through the roof. You became the person in your neighborhood, right? Or in your neighborhood, the GTA. What are you? Just your neighborhood. Anyways, you were the go-to. You were popping up number 1, right? Because you was such incredible Google reviews, right? I think about that all the time. Ingenious. Okay, so Black Friday. So then, if you know that people are finding you through Black Friday. Well, Black Friday is a date, but like how, right? Like how are they becoming aware you exist? Steph, LinkedIn and networking for you so far. Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, so now let's move into the next stage. So awareness. They are aware that you exist. Either they're going to find you or you're going to find them, right? It goes both ways. So then the next stage, thank you, Emery, is interest. So they know you exist, and now there's something about you that is creating interest. They want to know more, right? They want to know more. This is the point now that they are subscribing to your email list. They're joining a YouTube live, right? They're following you on LinkedIn. They're DMing you maybe even, right? There's some level of interest and they're saying, I want more, right? So the question is, do you know what makes your customers interested in you specifically? What is it about you that they go, oh yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. This person is rocking my world, right? Or I feel so good, right? What takes a person from knowing you exist to wanting to stay connected with you? Give me some answers. I'm going to create memory. Nikki, come on. You're like a canon event in my life. Nikki and I have known each other for a long time and been around the entrepreneurial block in Toronto a lot. Yeah. Nikki, you're one of my favorite human beings. Steph, that's such a great idea with the Google reviews. Genius. Yeah, if you've got a physical business. Now, Nikki has an RMT practice out of her home, right? So if you don't have a physical business, a physical location, Google, like a Google My Business account isn't going to be, it's not going to really make sense for you because that's where you like have your address and your hours and like reviews and things like that. However, Steph, in your case, LinkedIn recommendations are going to be great. Fill up your LinkedIn recommendations, right? If you have a Facebook business page, right, get those reviews, right? So it's a little bit harder if you don't have a physical location. And I know you can like work your way around it by getting like a fake address or like I know people might get like a co-working address or a PO box type. Well, you cannot use a PO box, but they'll get a different kind of address. But truly, if you don't have a physical location, a Google My Business doesn't necessarily make sense for you. There's a reason why you have to find workarounds because it doesn't really apply to you. So again, this is where we say, don't get so caught up in things that don't apply to you. Go find out how people find you and do that. If they're finding you on Google searches, you got to figure out what they're searching, right? Figure out what they're searching and create content. Make sure that stuff's on your website, right? Oh, Black Friday content on Pinterest. Yeah, if you're doing a Black Friday. Yeah, absolutely. JJ, I go door to door and force them to watch my YouTube channel. I love a good joke. I can make those kinds of jokes, but because I have this like natural authority that I speak with and always have, people believe me. So I've learned I can't be sarcastic. I figured that out in my probably teenage years. I can't be sarcastic because people think that I'm serious. I say shit on LinkedIn about corporate work that not everyone says. Love that. Fantastic. Fantastic. What is a good cadence for blogging? Here's what I'm going to say. The good cadence is whatever is sustainable for you. That's it. There's no, what am I going to say? Write 3 blogs a week. Well, if you can't maintain that, sustain that, then it doesn't matter, right? So for right now, if you're new to blogging, a good cadence is whatever is sustainable for you. As I said, you can write 1 blog and you can repurpose that content all over the place. You can be taking a chunk of that content and expanding on it in your newsletters. You can be taking a chunk of that content and expanding on it on LinkedIn or other social media platforms you might be on. You can be creating like 50 pins on Pinterest, right? So it's whatever pace is sustainable for you. Just start there. So I like to say start with 1 a month, right? If you can do 2 a month, great. Some people are really quick at writing and they can like batch create like 4 blogs in an afternoon, right? And then they'll let that go for a month or 2. So whatever cadence makes sense for you. There's my non-committal answer because as always, it depends on you. All right. I think it is writing and YouTube or video because they can see I'm kind patient. Remind them of a teacher and I keep it light and fun. Yeah, I love that. Exactly. Right. Like I've known that from the beginning with me. My biggest thing on interest in my customer from the beginning is me, right? People are connecting to me. And that's the thing. I should have said that. I'm so sorry. When we were talking about service-based businesses and why that's different than product or tech, because those are brands. They're not selling themselves. They're selling their apps. They're selling their software. They're selling, you know what I mean? Their shoes and purses. If you are the face of your company, if you are the product, right? You're selling yourself. That's why that visibility piece, doing interviews, having some sort of content, that stuff's important because people are buying you, right? My first member in my new membership found me on YouTube, long form content. Brilliant. So here's what I'm going to say to that. Okay. I was creating, you guys, I'm actually going to be taking all my TikToks off. Anyways, I was creating TikToks under Radical Linz. I hate creating short form content. Long form, love it. Short form, I will tell you, I could never be an influencer because I hate it. Anyways, I had the most magical human being find me on TikTok, has become a client. We have stayed in each other's lives, a magical human being. But it was one person. That's not where the bulk of my business comes from. There is no way I'm going to pivot all my energy into something because one person found me when like 50 people find me here. So I want to say with YouTube, if that's the future and where you're going, get in there, get to work, do the thing. But always, this goes for everybody, always pay attention. We don't pivot our business and go all in for outliers, right? We have to think core revenue stream, core marketing activities, core interest, awareness, interest, funnel. We have to think, what is the bulk? Where does the bulk of my business come from? That's where I really get focused and dialed in, right? And get that as automated as we can, right? And then the outliers are a bonus. So if YouTube is the thing that you're driving towards, go in on that. If there's other things that you are doing that bring in business faster, then go a little bit lighter. Still do it though. Like me, still do it. Okay. Does that make sense? Oh no, to the volume. Did something happen with my volume? Is that a me thing? Oh no, it's your fault. I said that. I'm like, come on, don't. I can't have any more technical difficulties. What about making your emails and blogs the same content? Is that not enough new stuff? I wouldn't make your emails shorter. I wouldn't put a full blog into your email. That's too much. People won't read it. I would tease it out and then say, get the full scoop over here. Okay. I became an influencer using long form videos. Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's the direction I'm going to for sure. Like bring in some fun brand sponsorships, right? Bring in some ad revenue, right? Bring in what I love about YouTube. What I love about YouTube as a monetization platform is it's one of the best at how it pays its content creators. It really does respect its content creators and pays well. And there's multiple streams of income that you can have through a YouTube channel, right? Jess, we'll see you soon. Thank you so much. All right, we're gonna come on. We're on the home stretch here. We're on the home stretch. Yeah. Perfect. I love that. I love that, Sue. Okay. So we've done awareness. We've got the interest. Now let's think about consideration. So that's the next stage, third stage of the buying journey, consideration, right? This is when your customer now has been following you, is loving what you're all about. We already know that they've been looking for someone like you. Okay. Well, that's already been assumed. So now they're considering buying from you or working from you. Do you know what thoughts are going through their head? What are they considering? Time, price, structure, maybe their own fears, maybe their own hangups, right? Are they looking for someone that makes them feel a certain way, that says a certain thing, that has a certain style? What is your customer considering when they're about to make a purchase? And when it comes to you, do you know how you're communicating that? Are you meeting them where they're at through your emails, right? Through your content, through your group community activities? Are you able to remind them this is the thing that you can purchase when you're ready, right? And here's the things you're probably thinking, and here's how I'm meeting you where you're at. I know those were a little bit vague. It's because, again, as always, guys, everyone has different businesses. So I have to ask these questions as vague as possible, and then I need you to interpret them for your business. But when they're at that consideration stage, how are you making sure that they know what you sell, how to buy it, and you're meeting them at those thoughts that they're at, right? I will say bonus points to anybody who's been in my world for a while, has made a purchase with me, has worked with me or joined our community, right? And went, oh, yeah, I was thinking this, and then you posted that, and that's what made me go, yes, this is the thing. Or I saw you over here, and it's when you said this that made me go, ah, yes, this is the thing. Because in the years to come in your business, depending on what stage you're at, you're going to learn your customer more and more, and you're going to learn what they want, what they don't want, what they're craving, what they need, right? What they're avoiding. You're going to learn that, and you're going to be able to speak to that in a way that just like, oh, it just makes them feel so seen, so recognized, right? And to me, that's what we want. Like I have this motto, right? To leave people feeling good. Like after we interact. And sometimes, you guys, I'm not gonna lie, this perimenopause has got me kind of sometimes up in a tizzy. Sometimes I'm kind of a jerk, and I try to catch it as soon as I can, but my patience sometimes is is a little thin. But for the most part, my aim always is to treat people with kindness and non-judgment and acceptance, and give them the space to also feel the same for themselves, right? So that's not about how my customer wants to feel. That's how I want myself to feel, and how I want others to feel when we engage with each other, right? But all of that pours into how you show up in your business, right? What do we got? How long for long form? If you're on YouTube, 10 minutes at least. But it depends. It depends on your style. It depends on your audience, because I will watch a 3-hour deep dive into something. And I'll watch a quick 15-minute how-to video on something. It just depends on your content style and who your audience is. Yeah. But if it's for YouTube, 10 minutes well, okay. Here's what I'm going to say. 10 minutes is the minimum if you are going to monetize that video, and 10 minutes is the minimum watch time that we're really trying to hit with our videos. But if you make a 5-minute video or a 7-minute video, it's fine. It's fine. Those also apply. There's many times I go and I watch a 2-minute video on how to add an integration between two, software platforms. Like, it's fine, right? Again, as always, it depends. JJ, yeah, I don't really like short form either. I hate it, but I have this app that takes my long form and makes it a shorter form, but I find even YouTube shorts are not the best leads. No, YouTube. So you guys, I want you to think about your short form content as something that is something for people to watch and get to know you. So I don't want you to think of your short form content as something that pulls in new people. I want you to think of something that builds know, like, and trust with people who already know you exist and already follow you. Does that make sense? Emery, what they're considering: money, and will they get their money's worth from their time with me? Okay, great. So then you need to be thinking, okay, if money is the thing that is a barrier potentially, or okay, I guess my question would be like, why? Is it because they've wasted money on people in the past and it didn't work for them? Is it because they don't have money? Is it because they'd never thought of investing money in something like this? Like, I guess my question that for you to go deeper into is why? What are they thinking about money, right? Just saying money isn't quite enough. We need to understand what it is about money and why, right? And then go, okay, how am I making sure that I'm communicating to these things, right? To these things. Like, I saw you had a 50% sale this summer. I love the graphic. So how are you communicating that? And remember that posting into your existing audience isn't enough. Where are you getting into, like, asking your partner, like your biz besties or your affiliate partners or whatever, your referral partners, to share that out in their emails? Maybe you're doing an email exchange with people, right? Where are you getting into some sort of visibility space into new audiences to let them know about the sale, right? All right, I love that. Andrea, the thing that convinced me to work with you were the very direct truth bombs you were dropping while in the hospital. The level of real is what I connected with. Yeah, that too. I can't keep my big mouth shut if I tried, I swear. But here's the thing, right? Friends, that it goes hand in hand, right? Like, if I'm going to say I want people to feel seen, acknowledged, not judged, accepted, then I have to do the same for myself. And then I have to show up the same for myself. And then that means that folks like Andrea see that in me, like that in me, which means I don't have to pretend to be someone I'm not when I'm engaging with Andrea. We can talk and I can drop a truth bomb in the middle of a session, right? And so you see how it's like this, like, beautiful circle of you showing up authentically and being yourself attracts the people that like that. And you never have to be fake, right? Well, I was gonna say you never have to mask as well, but that's not the fake part. Yes, the masking part. Sometimes we still mask. Sometimes if I was totally unmasked, y'all, that maybe wouldn't be so good. I gotta be professional, apparently. But now you're all sitting there going, wait, what does fully unmasked Lindsay look like? That cowboy's deranged. But my point is that when you show up as yourself, right, and you're showing up for yourself, but you're also making it so clear on who you are, what you stand for, how people can work with you, how people can buy from you, that moves those folks that are into consideration into going, yes, heck yes. Speaking of which, if you see the QR code up in the corner, I am running my summer sale. I don't want to forget to do that before we run out of time here. My summer sale, this is every year I run a summer sale, and you can stock up on up to 10 sessions at half price. So if you want to grab some sessions with me, please do. The link is there for you. Okay. Comments. Where do we go? Here we go. 30 minutes works for you on YouTube. Perfect, Sue. I love that, right? Like, you'll find your thing. Heck yeah to authenticity. Okay, so I want to go to one more and then we're going to wrap up. I know we're kind of running over, so I'm just going to keep this real brief, okay? This is the 4th stage, decision, because there's 6 stages, right? Awareness, interest, consideration, decision, purchase, loyalty, and advocacy. Okay. So awareness is what you do to get found. Interest, consideration, and decision, a lot of the times that's happening without you knowing it. That is happening inside your customer's head. They're watching you, they're following you, they're engaging with you, but that's happening in here. That's why we have to know what our customers are thinking, right? hang on, I want to rephrase that because I don't mean it in like a manipulative, gross way. Because as I said, always I'm going to tell you, show up authentically, show up as yourself, say your piece, right? But we still have to think about what are they considering, because we often forget that the sales journey is not on our timeline. It's not based on our goals. Our customers buy if and when it's right for them, right? And that's happening up here. But we've got to be considering what they're thinking, what they're considering, what makes them interested, what makes them make a decision, right? And then purchase and loyalty and advocacy. That's now the purchases happen. That's all about like you're rolling out the welcome mat, right? Like the all that stuff that happens after the purchase, right? But the decision, when they're at the point of decision, what is getting them to make that decision? Do you know what it is? What tips them over into going, yep, let's go? And this is where, if you didn't already, grab the Unhustle Your Business Starter Kit. That's where I talk about those 3 different sales pathways. You need to know the different sales pathways that you have available to your customer, right? So that you're making sure to put people on the right pathway. And it's all based on what they want and what they need. Because around here we say to decenter your sales goals and center your customers' needs, right? Yes. I'm so glad that you enjoyed this. Okay, so I would love to hear. I'm gonna share a few links and start to wrap us up, but I'm gonna give us a moment to write your comments in right now. Any last minute comments? When you think of awareness, interest, consideration, decision, what do you think you need to sort of like shift your awareness around? What are you missing? What are you not getting? Where are you not showing up, right? In the way that you need to be showing up, right? And then also, where might you be muddying the waters or confusing people? Where might you be holding back? Maybe you've got a bit of discomfort around selling in general and you're holding back a little bit. So let's get some ideas there. And then I'm going to share some more things. Okay, so I've shared the Back to Business. If you haven't already registered for that, come and save your seat. That's happening September 5th. We are doing another round of sales call shenanigans for those that were at our last one. This is happening September 26th, so the end of the month. You got some time. This is where you get to come and you're going to learn how to do a sales call, the way that I teach how to do a sales call. I call it the sales-free sales call because it doesn't feel like you're selling. And you get to practice, you get to role play, and you'll get to do a couple of different calls with folks. So come to that. My annual summer sale is on until the 20th. You got 12 more days if you want to buy some sessions. Here is my Unhustle Your Starter Kit. If you want to grab that, and then I want to hear it. What are some thoughts? What are you walking away with today? Oh wait, let me get the link. Sorry, let me grab the link for the next shop talk too. What is making you go, today? Here's the link for the next. Oh, Shoshana, hey! I was gonna say, hey girl, hey, but no. What do you know how I go by cowboy? What do you go by? Anyways, heck yeah, Shoshana, tell me, what did you take away from today? I didn't even know you were here. Thank you for saying hi. I miss you. I miss all you guys. Tell me what you're walking away with, and then I also shared the link for the next shop talk, so you can save your seat. And because, I don't know, because Restream was acting funny, I kind of feel like I want to just show up live and just let you, there won't be a direct link anymore. It'll just be to go to my live stream channel, like where it says live on my YouTube and just show up there. Because I'm nervous now about sharing a Restream link in case it doesn't work again. I'm good with girl. Yeah. Aw, same cowboy, same. For friends that don't know, I go by they, them, cowboy. And the reason I use cowboy is because my friends would always say, hey, girl. And then they'd panic and they'd freeze and they didn't know what to do. I'm like, it's okay. It's all right. I'm non-binary if you didn't know that. Anyways, and so I just said, just start saying cowboy. And it's the best. I love when you all call me cowboy. It's so fun. I want to buy a sales call workshop. The sales call shenanigans. Yep, come buy it. Come get your ticket. They're $12, guys. They're not. It's an inexpensive thing to come do. Yeah, $12. Come grab it. Oh, Andrea, I think I need to learn more about SEO for my website, blog, and maybe reallocate some time to Pinterest versus LinkedIn. You know what? It's worth a try. It's worth a try. Here's what I'm going to say. You know your capacity and you know your time. This goes for everybody here, okay? Everybody. What I don't want is if you're in a good rhythm and things are working, you're networking, you're booking calls, you're getting speaking gigs, your email list is growing, you're getting sales. I don't want you to do anything too disruptive. I want you to keep going, right? But if you're going, you know what? I think Pinterest might make sense. I think that my customer is Googling and looking at pins. They are looking at pins. They are on Pinterest, right? Then give it a whirl. But like anything else, it's not a one and done. You have to create a bunch of content. You have to start learning the algorithm. You have to start tracking your analytics, learning what works. A lot of times entrepreneurs think, oh, I just got to post and that's it. That's not it. You have to learn it. You have to learn what works and what doesn't. You have to understand the analytics and the algorithm, right? So do it, but then give yourself like a 6-month trial run, right? And see what happens, right? Emery, I need to get way more into my customer's head. I need to understand their inner journey and speak to that. Yes, Emery, heck yeah. Shoshana, walking away with big thoughts around writing, podcasting, and longer form content. Absolutely. When you're back in the office in September, let's talk about that. Yes. All right. Anything else? Anything else before we wrap up? Anything else? I'm trying to think if I've got anything else, but no. Other than I will say this: if you are in the Vancouver area, I'm gonna be speaking at not speaking. Sorry, I'm gonna be actually running. It's really sweet. I'm gonna be running these. Hang on, let me get the link. Hang on, I'm distracted. Let me get this link. All right, this is a giant link. I don't know why it's so big. Anyways, I don't know why it's so big. That's huge. It's this event called Back to Business. Funny enough, I'm doing a Back to Business and I'm also speaking at a Back to Business. But what this is, it's a full day event here in Vancouver. And there's going to be keynotes and lots of networking and a post-work, non-alcoholic, cocktail hour. It's going to be a really fun day. And people like me, there's going to be rooms where you're going to get 30 minutes with us to come and sit and talk to all these different experts. I think I've got like 10, I have like 10 spots basically. Anyways, it's really sweet. If you want to come and join that, if you're in the Vancouver area, sorry, Emery. And use this code to get $25 off your ticket. So yeah, if you're around, come and join that as well. That's going to be a fun day. My brain's going to be so happy, so happy doing all that strategy work. All right. Sue, what's this? I'm going on vacation 2 days after that for 2.5 months after. Oh, fantastic. That's going to be so fun. Oh, that's going to be so good. Okay, you guys, that's it. We're going to wrap up for today. We will be back next month for our next shop talk on the second Friday of the month. I don't know our theme yet. I'll figure that out. It'll probably be something related to back to business and how we're finishing the year strong. But I really love when these focus a little bit less on the strategy, a little bit more on the mindset. I think these are really important conversations that we have around mindset as we need both. We need the mindset and we also did strategies. So yeah, I love that. Friends, as always, this has been an absolute pleasure. One more thing I want to say, if you haven't joined the Ick Free Sales community yet, please come and join that now. And let's have some fun. Until then, you guys, have the best rest of your summer. After today's Friday, right? That's it. I'm officially on summer hours now, starting today, or I guess tomorrow. So I'll be working at reduced capacity. I want you to get out there. I want you to have fun with all your favorite people, eat lots of ice cream, get some sun if you're in the part of the world where it's our summer right now. And just let your mind be. Let your mind be. Let your mind wander. Give yourself permission to do less right now, okay? And just really have fun making the most of connecting and being in nature. And as I said, eating as much ice cream, including vegan ice cream. There's coconut bliss is very good. As much as you can handle. You guys, thank you so much. This has been wonderful. We will see you all. I'll see some of you this month and more of you in September. Okay, bye everybody. Thank you.